Hello, everyone. My name is Raquel Garcia. I'm a realtor with Next Home, and today I am speaking with Marcus Wilson, who is a lender with Chicanos Por La Causa, and we're going to be talking about the Arizona is Home initiative, which is a Governor Hobbs and Arizona Department of Housing initiative to make housing affordable in Arizona. So I'm super excited to talk to Marcus today. Tell us about your process. Marcus, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Raquel. Yes, Marcus Wilson with Chicanos Por La Causa, CPLC. I've been with him since May, right after we heard about the program coming out. It definitely enticed me and wanted to be able to see what I can do to help with the community.
Awesome. And you're a lender, right?
We are. Not a lot of people know that. We actually started lending back in October of 2022. And as we paved the way to provide home ownership affordability across Arizona.
Tell me a little bit about Chicanos Por La Causa and what it is.
Absolutely. We're a nonprofit organization, Latino nonprofit organization. We've been around since 1969. Um, and our ultimate goal is to try to help and empower. We are currently located in 6 states: Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, and Colorado, and California. But we only currently land in Arizona at the moment, as we do plan on adding additional states on the platform.
Awesome. And Chicanos por la Causa, does it only help Latinos or Hispanics?
No, no. CPLC does not look at color. We look at overall and providing assistance for all communities.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. So you want to tell us a little bit about Arizona is Home?
Absolutely. And thank you again for taking the time to go over this. I think it's a very important initiative that Katie Hobbs has granted to the state of Arizona. And us being one of the lenders that can offer this product, it's very important that we go over this. So Arizona Home is a new product that came out. And based upon the program, you can qualify either up to 20,000 or 30,000 based upon your income. And so with these incomes that are in place, a lot of people have concerns or questions of how does this benefit us? Well, these funds can be used for down payment, closing costs, or interest rate buy down, which is amazing, especially in this market right now. We're seeing a higher interest rates and price of homes. We're not seeing income down. So these products are able to help consumers be able to get into the American dream of owning a home and be able to have down payment assistance be able to assist you to get into the home and be able to start building generational wealth.
Awesome. I love it. And how does the process work at Chicanos por la Causa with allocating these funds and working with new borrowers?
That's a great question. So it's first come, first serve. Since the program just came out in April, there's plenty of funds available. What we typically do is when a person is eligible for the product, we send them over to our housing counseling. They will go over all the details of what programs are available and let us know if the customer is eligible for Arizona's home. Once we identify that, we'll collect income documents, review, and do a thorough review with them to make sure that they understand the process by validating their income requirements for AMI. And once we validate that, that will let us know exactly how much the customer is going to be eligible for the down payment assistance through Arizona's home.
Awesome. And do you have to have a certain credit? Let's talk a little bit about like the requirements for this type of program.
That's also a great question. This particular program does not have a certain credit restriction. As long as you qualify for the standard loan products, and I'll start with FHA. FHA, you just have to be a 580. Conventional, you just have to be a 640. And then VA, you can be as low as 500. So as long as you're eligible for those products, this does not hinder you getting a down payment assistance based upon your FICO score.
Oh, that's great. So it's combining this program with some of the already programs that are in existence, like conventional or FHA.
And
Program.
VA,
And
yes.
oh yeah. And so with if you have somebody come to Chicanos por la Causa and ask to initiate this process, what is the first step for them?
The first step you want to do is you'll get in contact with me. We'll do a short interview. On the interview call, what I'll do is I'll go over your information and gather all your documents so we can get you in front of a housing counseling specialist. The housing counseling specialist is going to go over not only just the purchase of a home, but credit, see where you're at, see where you can potentially improve, and then they identify you qualify for the program. Once they identify that, then you have to take a home buyers class, educational class, which can be done in person or online. We like to keep that open as people have busy schedules, so you can do it online or you can go in person. Once that's done, you receive a certificate for the HUD certification. At that point in time, the HUD has a complete package to send back to us so we can start the process of getting you pre-qualified and get that pre-qualification letter to give out to a realtor. In that case, they can start shopping for a home.
Yes, wonderful. And with the home buyer class, how long does that home buyer class usually take somebody to get through?
Typically 8 hours. So we have most of the home buyers classes are on Saturdays. CPLC does host those, and I have those available in Spanish and English. So you want to make sure that's available for consumers. But if there's no classes that you're available for, you can take it at your own pace online in English or Spanish as well.
That's awesome. So I love that you said that 580 to 640 because a lot of people think that they're not going to qualify because they're in the fives. And if they are below 580, and do you have any credit services to help them get to 580 credit score?
We do. So we actually do work with a couple credit repair services that can help consumers get their credit score up, which is very important because not everybody's going to be perfect. So this is why we have options. One of the companies that we actually use is Take Charge America and ARC, which is Administration Resources Choices, which they have a location here in Arizona and Tucson. So they're actually a free service that we offer that can help you and guide you through increasing your credit. If you have disputes or anything on your credit that may be hindering you to get over that 580, they can help you and build a pathway for you to get to that score.
I think that's a wonderful point that we need to emphasize is that you guys provide a free credit repair service, unlike some of these other services that charge for them to repair your credit. Chicanos Por La Causa has um, the resources to be able to help an individual get from a lower credit score to a higher credit score to qualify for this program. So if they meet with you and you find that they don't necessarily meet the credit requirements and there is somewhere for them to go to move into a path to take them to qualification.
That is absolutely correct. The ultimate goal is if we can't do it now, we're going to build a pathway for success so that you can get into a home when the time is right.
I love that. That's awesome. So how are you getting this information out to people?
Well, events like having calls like this, I do a lot of events myself locally. I'm also a speaker at some of the housing counseling events on Saturdays. I think the education is key right now. I mean, a lot of people want to own a home, but a lot of people are scared. They don't know how to, or they just don't think it's an actual goal that is attainable. And so with CPLC having these in place, my goal is to try to get out to the community. So I host first time home buyers events. I hope me and you get to host one here soon.
Absolutely.
So we can give the information out to the community. I mean, education is key. That once the education is given, that allows consumers to feel more comfortable when they're wanting to speak about this. But when you hear media and you hear everything else, people shy away from it. That's why it's important to be an educator for the public to let them know that these programs are available and they are here to help sustain homeownership.
And Chicanos Por La Causa is a nonprofit. So for anyone wondering, what's the catch? They're a nonprofit. They're here to help people. They're funded to help people. So there is really no catch when it comes to the assistance that Chicanos Por La Causa wants to provide. So I think it's a wonderful resource. Are there any costs associated with applying for this program?
The only thing you would actually have to pay would be for a credit report, but we don't collect that until we get to closing. So for the housing counseling, that's free. For the actual 8-hour class, that's free. Now, Fannie Mae can change that, but right now it's currently free. So the only thing really you have to pay for would be a credit report and appraisal when that time comes around and we collect that at closing. But to get into the program and start it, free of charge, and the education is free of charge.
And how much does a credit report cost?
Credit report typically costs for a family of two, $100, and then a family of one, about $54.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
per
very
borrower.
affordable. Mm-hmm. That's very affordable. And is the program only for people in Phoenix, or what is the area that is eligible for this program?
So Arizona Home is qualified for all of Arizona. So we do Pinal County, we do Tucson, Yuma, all the way down. So if you fit within the AMI limits, which we can discuss next, you'll be eligible for this product while the funds are available. So that's also leads me into my next question. There's plenty of funds available. Take advantage of this now. Since it's such a new product and there hasn't been much advertisement on it, that's why it's important that we get this education out to let everybody know.
Yeah, because funds will run out. This is not forever. This is a limited amount of time that you can qualify for $20,000 to $30,000 of down payment assistance or assistance towards purchasing your home, whether you want to use that to buy down your rate or you want to use it as down payment. So these funds are limited. It's so important to get in to talk to Chicanos Por La Causa and start this application process. I'm going to be adding the information on how to start the application process to whatever social media site you are watching this on. So you'll find that in the comments. But it is a temporary program. And once funds run out, then this program is going to be gone and it's going to be first come, first serve. So let's talk a little bit about what is AMI.
That's a great question. So AMI is your amortized moderate income. So when you look at each county, understanding AMI is important because it changes yearly. And so we recently had an update in April. And basically, give you an example, as I mentioned at the very beginning, 80% for a single person is 57,600. So what does that mean? As long as you don't make over the 57,600, you're going to qualify for the full 30,000. Okay. Now, something that I also want to add on to this, we can layer this Arizona's home product with other DPA programs that we have. So and that's where housing counseling comes in and identifies that. But you qualify for this program. And if you do, we can layer it on top of that. And so for a two-family home, 65,800, and then kind of going over to the 120, which would be the 20,000. A single person, 86,350. If that's what you're making right now as a single person household, you qualify for at least 20,000. And
That's
so these
awesome.
are some amazing grants based upon the AMI limits where they're at. And again, it goes per household, per person in the household that's working. So that's how they calculate that information, and that's what we based upon for our underwriting guidelines with the state.
And so you talked about you can layer this. So you're saying that
Mhm.
there are other down payment assistance programs out there that if you qualify for Arizona as home, you could potentially qualify for another program. What do some of those other programs offer as far as the amount of down payment assistance? Just high level.
Great question. Wish program. That's another program that is a 4-1 match. They're offering up to 30,000 as well. So you can layer that in that. Now you're getting close to almost $60,000, and that's amazing to be able to help somebody that's an example buying a home for 200,000, getting that $60,000 grant, and that's probably all they can afford. But now they can see the light of being a homeowner with this program. Now I do want to clarify: the Wish program is forgiven within 5 years. This particular program is not forgiven. So what does that mean? As long as you maintain this home as your primary residence, it does not have to be repaid back. If you do sell it, it would have to be repaid. But ultimately, what you're seeing right now with equities around the valley is equities is jumping, and you'll probably be better to speak to this. We're seeing equity still sustain and rise.
Absolutely. You're always going to have equity. Even if it drops to zero, it will eventually go back up.
That's back up.
That's historically a fact. Okay, so we're getting close on time, so I want to kind of wrap it up. I want to know, can you tell me, in your opinion, why you believe home ownership is so important for Arizona residents?
Absolutely. Paying a landlord monthly and giving that money away is not doing nothing but ultimately hurting your bank account. If you want to be able to sustain and be able to build generational wealth, buying a home is important. You're starting to see rents get as close as mortgage payments now. If you can own, think about the return of investment that you invest into that home, as we talked about equity that you can obtain. That's why it's important. And I feel it's more important than ever with home prices and these type of programs to take advantage of it so you can get a piece of the pie.
Absolutely agree. And one thing that I will say is important to me is to have more of our community members empowered by homeownership rather than private equity. We have a significant issue where private equity is buying up a lot of the single family homes, and they're going to
Mhm.
make it impossible for us to own privately, which takes away our opportunity to leverage that appreciation and that uh, those monies that we can save towards retirement, towards our family legacy, towards a different home, a bigger home. So it's also removes the power for us as a community member to dictate what our rent prices are. And yeah, home ownership really does have to do with your rent prices. And you have to think about the next generation, right? So my children, my grandchildren, and what they're going to experience in home ownership and the possibility of home ownership if we continue to allow private equity to take up all of our homes. So this is more than just
Absolutely.
my own uh, equity and my own wealth. It is what our children and our grandchildren are going to experience. So I'm so excited that Chicanos Por La Causa and Governor Hobbs and the Arizona Department of Housing has implemented this program and provided all of this money to make private home ownership a reality in Arizona. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Marcus, for meeting with me today. And I really appreciate your time. And is there
Thank
anything
you for
else that you
that.
want to say before we go?
No, thank you for the opportunity. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, please have them reach out to you. And I look forward to helping them out. And let's see what we can do to give assistance with this action plan.
Absolutely. We will work as a team to make sure that these individuals get through the process quickly and efficiently. Together, we'll work on that and make sure that we can get them out there and become private homeowners.
So thank you.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day, Marcus.
You do the same. Thank you for coming.